Welcome to Earth's Mightiest Weirdos. It is the four weirdos back and better than ever, ready to talk the finale of What If and multiple breaking news items that have come down today, including a theory of my own that I want to get out in front of. So I'm excited to get into it. Mark Valentine, how are you this evening?
I am doing well. I am ready to talk What If, and I don't even know what this news is. I'm excited. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, you've been a little busy this evening, so you haven't seen what dropped tonight. Mark, you're willing to run the jinx on the t-shirt there, huh?
Okay. So fun fact, man, I hate that you guys pointed out that I do that long pause thing. I do a thing where I wear a shirt. If they lose, I don't wear that shirt. And wait, I can't talk about it then because then it ruins it. You know what? I'm just going to say I'm wearing a red shirt.
And they're up 5-0 in the fifth.
Wait, Bryan, is your thing about this new exciting casting news? Is that it? I'm like on edge now.
It's in that world.
Okay.
It's in that world, but that's it. But we're going to talk about that too. And the man himself, Piano Rob. How are you, Piano Rob?
I'm excited. We got all four of us on a show. We got a finale. This is a good day.
I called you Piano like that's your first name.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's got to go to bed. So we are going to get right into the world according to Jax.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
Good. What did you think of the finale of What If?
I liked it. I'm not sure why they chose Killmonger to be one of the 6 people to save the multiverse because he killed plenty of people.
We're going to talk about it tonight. So when you wake up tomorrow, you can rewatch this episode.
Okay. But I liked the rest of the episode just fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't care for Party Thor. You thought he was kind of irresponsible. Did he come? Did he redeem himself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like when he called the Watcher a big baby, wrapped in a robe?
I liked when Star-Lord called the Watcher. I can't remember what he called him.
Yeah. They all had funny names for the Watcher. You liked the series?
Yeah, I did.
WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier. What If? What's the best of the 4?
I think I like What If the best.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
WandaVision was the correct answer.
Oh, no.
Hey, man. Listen, yeah.
It's the best because it's a cartoon. Is that why?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's some recency bias. He's allowed some recency bias.
All right. Well, I think that is it for the world according to Jax for now, but he's got Miles Morales on his t-shirt. We are 1 year as of 3 days ago from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Oh.
All right. Thanks, Jax. All right. That is the world according to Jax. We are going to get into it now. Let's start with the least important part of the day. Eternals tickets went on sale today with brand new character posters. Gemma Chan as Cersei. Richard Madden as Icarus. I'm blanking on her name. Salma Hayek as Ajax. And Angelina Jolie as Thena, among the other 10 full Eternals. Mark, did you get your tickets? How excited are you? Mark Valentine.
I did not. I live in the sticks. I can literally walk up to any theater the day of 15 minutes before and get like a front row seat. The joys of living where no one else does.
I want a front row seat for the movies though.
Yeah, but no, like, you know what I mean? Like the middle of the theater. The only other person that's like in the theater with me is Dexter. Like that's it. Like that's where I live. It's like Dexter's, got the beard, and I live in the sticks, man. I live in rural Pennsylvania.
The other 2, we all deal with the same issue. Mark is so upset that he left. We'll get Mark back in here in a minute. Rob, you can't really plan around your weekends. Have you gotten your tickets for Eternals yet?
Well, I didn't. Well, not only that, my schedule is also the complete opposite of every human being in the world. So I never have trouble going to the movies when I want to go, like, noon on a Tuesday.
Yeah. That. Are you going to be able to wait till Tuesday, though?
No, probably not. We'll see when that weekend creeps around. We'll see what the first free moment. It comes out on a Wednesday, right?
No, it comes out on a Friday.
Yeah, well then
Thursday.
Technically.
Thursday.
Maybe Thursday night. Maybe.
Mark, do you had the same issue I did. The AMC app was crashing for you. Were you able to get tickets for opening night?
Yes. Thanks to loyal Earth's Mightiest Weirdo and United We Fan fan. Yep. Frankie, I was able to get a ticket with them, so thank you.
Shout out to Frankie. Well done, Frankie. Okay, gentlemen, I put the ball in your court. Do we want my speculation and trying to get out in front of the news cycle, or do we want the actual news cycle first?
No, let's get out in front of it.
All right.
Let's have
Gotta
some fun.
time how I want to do this. Okay.
I'll go to Crazy Town with you. I don't even care.
Let's get nuts.
James Gunn is directing the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which will hit Disney Plus next November-December timeframe, ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is in May of 2023. Recently on Twitter, James Gunn put out, "In my incredibly subjective and admittedly often odd opinion, we will be introducing one of the greatest MCU characters of all time in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special." Rob, what does this mean to you? Do you have a guess as to who this person may be?
Just based on the other news we had today, unless it's going to be Adam Warlock's first appearance.
I can't imagine it will be Adam Warlock's first appearance. I also think that James Gunn, that's the one that makes the most sense, right? Mark, you were nodding along. Who do you think it is?
I don't feel like for that it would be in the holiday special. I think like they'd want to put that in the movie. So I'm not feeling it for that. I know it could be a coincidence, but no, I don't think it's that.
Do you have a theory as to who it may be then?
I think it's no, I don't want to say it out loud. No, I'm not going to do it. Go ahead.
Say it out loud. Mark Valentine, do you have a theory as to who it may be?
I think it is Adam. I mean, we know that he's coming. They teased him in the post-credits trailer, so it's not like it's a surprise. I don't think they're going to make us wait longer for him. I think they're going to give, Adam Warlock to us in the holiday special.
It is even less of a surprise than you realize, because we're going to talk about that in a minute. Gentlemen, I do not think Adam Warlock is going to make his MCU appearance in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. You know who will make his MCU appearance in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special? Santa Claus. Santa Claus, the Marvel comic books, often with Deadpool, Santa Claus is a full-blown mutant X-Men that has reached Omega status, and he uses his powers to be Kris Kringle, to be Santa Claus. But who, might you ask, will play said Santa Claus?
Who?
At least we know it can't be Kurt Russell again.
Oh, that's such a good movie. Both of them.
All right, now this is where we take a turn to Crazy Town. Months and months ago, James Gunn put out a picture of the script of the holiday special, and look who responded, saying they have a very bad feeling about the script.
Oh, that fits. Yeah, I can't.
Going on record.
Look how excited he is. He knows how good this is. Make him giggle. He's trying to stay serious. He knows how good this is. Okay.
I have put the dots together. I am calling that Mark Hamill will play Santa Claus in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Okay.
Where's
I like that theory.
Drop it. Drop the mic.
I like that theory. I like that every now and then one of us will catch the lingo. Like the same thing with Paul Bettany, an actor he always wanted to work with, and it was himself. When it's like they try to mislead you, and we're starting to catch that, and I applaud that. That was very good.
I hope that he and Sebastian Stan can cross paths, and he can look at Sebastian Stan and marvel how amazing he looks, and how he reminds him of someone.
I'm going to remove you from this show. I am super confident in this theory that
I like it.
Santa Claus is the best Marvel character. I don't think Adam Warlock will make his appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy. However, perfect segue to Mark talked about it. Adam Warlock was teased in the post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Adam Warlock has officially been cast, and it is Will Poulter.
No, wait, is it official? Because it is
official. Deadline tonight, and then James Gunn said, "Welcome to the family."
Okay.
So Will Poulter, right here. You say, "Wow, he looks kind of familiar." He is. Wait, you guys are getting paid, kid?
Don't
Yeah.
go cheese.
Oh, I know him from
Such-
Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, he's from
I
Narnia.
know him from that movie, and it's a great one.
Yes. Well, it's got Ted Lasso in it, and of course.
Got Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
It is officially Will Poulter has been cast as Adam Warlock. So not only are we getting Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 officially, we now know who it's going to be. This one's a huge surprise to me.
The casting.
Yeah, Sarah Hallie Finn, she does at Marvel does the greatest casting job out there. I don't know if I see it. Like if they see it, obviously it's probably going to work. But Rob, what did you think of this?
I was just happy to get a casting for him. I'm not upset with who it is. They haven't really disappointed me yet. He looks like he's growing into less of a nerd and more of a like he took the Captain America serum from that last photo we saw of him.
This picture works.
Well, he was also in what was it, Black Mirror, where he was like a completely different person too. So
I'm very I'm okay with this. That's just more positive news. Pile it on.
All I can think is when Scarlett Johansson settled with Disney out of court, all I can think is, wait, you guys are getting paid? So Mark Valentine, this is brand new news to you. It sounded like you had heard the rumblings that Will Poulter had been cast, but it has officially been confirmed by James Gunn and via Deadline tonight. Are you excited?
I don't know if excited is the right word to say, but there haven't been many casting decisions that have been a swing and a miss for me outside of I wasn't crazy about Jude Law. And I normally like him in Captain Marvel. I just wasn't crazy about that movie in general, but yeah, I mean, I'll put my faith in Feige and the creatives over there. I think they know what they're doing.
Markie Mark?
I'm good with it. The serious roles he's done, Revenant, Midsummer, God, that one will mess you up. Yep. He knows how to act, so I'm for it.
So there we go. Mark Hamill will be Santa Claus, and Will Poulter will be Adam Warlock. And you can take and choose which one is officially confirmed and which one's not. But
I think I really like the fact that Luke Skywalker is Santa Claus.
I'm with you.
It feels so right. I feel so much comfort in that decision, knowing that
I just need to operate now that it hasn't been officially confirmed because I'm too excited for it.
Yeah. I'm glad Mark Hamill, once again, going from, the Joker to Chucky to Santa Claus. It's good career development for him.
So if it happens, you heard it here first. If it's good. Okay, let's get into it. We are talking what if. Go ahead, Mark Valentine.
I was going to say, can you get like a earbud and maybe hold it up like this and say that? Because if you do, I feel like it'll get picked up by other media outlets. Otherwise, we'll completely get ignored.
Yeah, make sure you say the name of the show.
Yeah,
you can put this on Diz Live podcast
for everyone in the world. Go piano, Rob. Play some intro music for Brian's big announcement. This just in, casting news prediction brought to you by Earth's Mightiest Weirdos. Brian, what is your big theory?
I already said my big theory. If you want to hear it, go back in the podcast and do it.
He is so modest. Mark Hamill as Santa Claus, Guardians of the Galaxy.
We have a show to do. We have a show to talk about. Let's get off the rails when there's not a new show in the next couple of weeks.
Finally.
All right, Rob, what did you think of the overall final finale of What If?
The finale was great. They did their own mini phase 1 through 3 in an episode thing. That's what they did. They gave you episodes of each character. They assembled all the characters. I would have liked to have the Gamora Iron Man story that got postponed till next season. I don't know if everybody knew that, but there was supposed to be another episode.
Well, we kind of saw like what happened.
I would have liked to seen the whole thing, how it went from A to B. I would have enjoyed that. But as a series, I enjoyed it. They tied it up in enough of a package and left me with enough questions. Yeah. I liked it.
I agree. I could have done with Gamora that. I did recycle that.
I think I actually liked not having seen it because it kind of added to the mythos of the multiverse and what if and infinite possibilities, and it was a story we weren't familiar with. I thought that actually worked pretty well. I know it's an episode we're probably going to get next season anyway. Markie Mark, what did you think of the finale?
I liked it a lot. I went the opposite direction. I'm glad we didn't see the Gamora and Tony episode because I feel like she's going to be Tony once again wanting to put a suit of armor.
That's what he gets. That's what he gets.
Around the world, he got a suit of armor around his internet connection.
Yeah, man. You don't diss Tony Stark.
Mark Valentine, what did you think of the finale?
I did enjoy it. The last 2 episodes I thought were really fun, but since he's back, I'll let him finish his thought. Go ahead, Mark.
I don't know why I keep getting kicked out. I'm like, what did I say?
Say something bad about Tony again. See what happens.
I know. What I was going to say is I'm good with not hearing anymore. I want to put a suit of armor around the world, so I was okay with not getting a full episode of it. As for our finale, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great. I also think it answered the question about T'Challa and if he's redeemable. And Funko, hey, I'm going to look at the camera. Funko, I need you to release the Peggy Carter stealth suit as a single and control it so that those trolls out there can't buy them all. You released it in a 4 Funko set. I don't need that. I just need her.
I saw it. I didn't realize it was in a set of 4 though.
It's a 4 set. Yeah. Not thrilled about that.
Well, go ahead and keep talking about Peggy and her best friend, Natasha Romanoff. Dwayne said he really enjoyed Natasha and Peggy's relationship as well. Mark, what did you make of this relationship between the two?
You talk first. I talk first.
You talk. Mark. You, me, you.
Yeah, keep talking about Peggy.
I thought the romance or the I almost said bromance. The friendship was great between the two of them. I like the banter. I like that they can lean on each other because those two have a history and are the kind of personalities that don't really have too many friends. So I'm glad the two of them could get along, just like Steve had like a great friendship with it. So I loved it. It was just great for Black Widow to have someone so that she didn't have to be alone, especially in that one planet or that one dimension when she just needed a friend. And luckily her and Peggy clicked right away. So it was great for them to have a friendship.
Yeah, only one of 3 people that she even trusts. Mark Valentine.
Yeah, I enjoyed the back and forth between the two of them. It was cool to see in the Captain Carter timeline. I liked the scene right out of the Lumerian Star. So like right out of that, the Winter Soldier storyline that we got to see the battle against Batroc again, but this time with Peggy taking him on. It was nice that the two of them had that camaraderie and that bond and that it transcended space and time. That even though it was a different timeline, that Black Widow had a comfort level with her when they first meet. That they hit it off and there was the unspoken bond that they shared across the space-time continuum that they felt immediately at ease with each other. And I know that we're getting ahead of ourselves, but then to also see that Black Widow that was in that destroyed timeline, who was alone with only Clint, and now that Clint's gone, that she wound up having a place and a purpose in a new universe. That was really cool. And it was with, that new team of Avengers. Good stuff, man. I loved it.
It was still keeping with the part of the first episode actually wasn't that different from Captain America, the First Avenger, even the Lumerian Star, the stealth suit, all that kind of stuff. It was very much Peggy was just in the world of Steve Rogers, and a lot of things were fairly similar. A lot wasn't different in that universe.
I just want to point this out, though. Does that mean that she then does also go on ice? Because assuming that she's still in that good a shape and she hasn't
at the end of the episode, she went through that portal when she was fighting, and she ended up in 2012.
Squid thing.
She ended up in 2012 with Nick Fury and Clint Barton there. So
that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So, Rob, what did you make of this relationship? And I'm going to throw the next spot to you, Rob, as well as Uatu starts to assemble the Guardians of the Multiverse.
I love this relationship. They really just put just a little twist on it. It was the same relationship that Widow had with Captain America, only now it's a female. It was great that they had each other. I think that they are the closest thing to peers out of anybody else. Who else would they match up with better than each other? Specifically Peggy in this form with the serum, because she can physically now do all the things that she needs to keep up with Black Widow. It's a great relationship. I love the Bernard and accounting joke. That was freaking funny when they did that. But yeah, bravo, excellent thing. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Bernard was great.
And as far as the multiverse goes, I mean, it was just fun at this point. He specifically went to get each character back from specific times. There wasn't much convincing at this point, because I guess you had to believe it once you saw it. Why he chose these specific characters when there's infinite possibilities. I guess they were the right people for the job, but the Watcher was Nick Fury in this sense, and he assembled his team. It was fun. It was fun how he did it.
I liked actually to see Peter Quill standing up to Ego still. He did, even though he wasn't Star-Lord, he was still fighting back against not wanting to be a battery, basically. So that was, good to see. And then T'Challa came in. But hands down, I didn't love the Party Thor episode. I said that on multiple occasions last week. A couple weeks ago, Party Thor really worked for me in this entire episode when the Watcher was trying to get his attention and he kept just fighting. And then the visuals of the Watcher picking up Thor off of the planet and then just Thor screaming, then ending up in the pub actually was really, really funny to me. Mark, what did you make of the rounding up of the Guardians of the Multiverse? Markie Mark.
I loved it. I made so many memes of Thor being picked up. Like when your boss tells you have to go to work. I loved that one over it. But I thought it was great. It led to the perfect gag where Strange is like, you pick them. And then, you got the Watcher being like, I picked them. Oh, what a good moment. I enjoyed it. Party Thor, if that episode led up for this joke, it was worth it. I enjoyed the episode, but I hope it improved Party Thor for you with his battle cry of Viva Las Vegas.
Oh, it's coming. We could talk about it right now. I've got it right here. When Ultron responds with, that is not a battle cry that I've ever heard before. But then later in the episode, he does it again where he's like, Vegas. I thought it was great. I thought it was
Rob,
great.
You're always in Vegas. Please, at some point, film you going down the strip saying it, or at like Caesar's Palace or something.
With Mjolnir, it was hysterical. I don't even know what that move was. It looked like some purple lightning. It was a glorified version of Sparkles. I didn't know what he was going to do with that.
You know what follows purple lightning?
Purple rain.
Purple rain.
Purple rain.
Mark Valentine, which was your favorite of the Guardians of the Multiverse just coming together like that?
I was a sucker for Captain Carter. I think the whole series, I have her behind me. I'm a fan of the Funko Pop. I wound up really liking her. I do like Sorcerer Strange. I don't know why I like Sorcerer Strange so much. I just think that flawed version, or that even more flawed version of Strange, is just really interesting and compelling. When they assembled the first time, I kind of channeled my inner Nova Corps, and I was like, what a bunch of a-holes. Because I didn't think that any of them were really worthy. Even that version of Thor is not the best version of Thor that we're going to get. So I was like, this is the best that the universe can muster at this point. Like, we're in trouble.
I did think it was interesting, the entire Killmonger sequence.
Yeah,
you're like, why is he here? And then we find out later why he's here. But Mark Valentine, keep going with that. Do you find Sorcerer Strange to be sympathetic?
No, I think Doctor Strange as a character is pretty stoic at this point. I mean, I think in his education and in his experiences, especially after...
Not necessarily him, but your view of him. Did you feel sympathy for him at all?
No.
Okay.
None whatsoever. I mean, it was cool to see him get a little bit of redemption, that he gets a little bit of a reset and he gets sprung from his broken universe. But I mean, I can't give him a pass. He's not a good guy at this point. He's a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy.
Can I make a comparison for you?
Go ahead.
It was of course it was developed in much less time because it was a cartoon, but he's really like a Loki. He did so many terrible, terrible things to the point that it destroyed a universe. But he realized that when he got to that point of all power, it's, well, what is all power? I didn't get anything I wanted. So now he's kind of turned around and he's trying to redeem himself by helping, because he realized that all power was nothing. It just happened in an episode and a half.
He is a little more willing to sit with his mistakes, though, than Loki was, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, like I said, Loki was developed much more. We had much more time to do it. But in theory, that's what happened.
Right. Markie Mark, did you find Doctor Strange sympathetic at all?
I did it again. I always do that dramatic pause lead up. Man, I noticed it so much since you guys pointed it out. Anyways, I don't
think we did point it out.
Didn't you? I thought you did.
Yourself, and we just said yeah.
Man, okay. This won't be the last time we see that Doctor Strange. I think he will pop up. My spidey senses are tingling on that.
Do you think? Okay, you weren't here to put out this theory to yourself. Do you still have confidence that Doctor Strange is the Doctor Strange in No Way Home?
Do this.
I mean, wait. Oh yeah, I got to do the Bryan thing. If it's not him, we know that's not the same Doctor Strange. And then they introduced this one, and he's very powerful. So we'll see. I'm going to stick with it for a little bit longer. I'm ready to be proven wrong, but I liked his storyline. Is he a good guy now? No, but I think his redemption story is going a lot better than, say, Killmonger's. So yeah,
I'm a bad guy, but I'm not a bad guy.
Bad guy.
It's pronounced Satine.
All right. Well, we get some cool visuals of Doctor Strange casting this protection spell upon everybody. It's a simple spell, but quite unbreakable. It works really, really well. We go through quite a lot of fighting, including a cool visual of Doctor Strange multiplying Mjolnir and flying around all over Ultron and then smashing on him. Gamora is very, very capable. We've learned that she is not an enemy whatsoever. She was a survivor of Sakaar and a murderer, or not a murderer, but a killer of Thanos. That's a pretty good record to have. She stole Thanos' armor. She stole Thanos' weapon. But we get to Ultron finally using the Time Stone and freezing time, but he can't completely do it because Doctor Strange has his own version of the Time Stone, and we see kind of Doctor Strange do his whole thing. But then we get all just mega Ultron, him growing. Mark Valentine, what did you make of all these battle sequences and everything that we got here?
So I'm going to need your help because I'm trying to make sense of it. This was the one part that did just seem slightly off to me. The entire last episode, we were introduced to a Galaxy Eater, a Galactus level threat, and Ultron, with the stroke of like a hand, was decimating planets and universes. And then I have this team of heroes that make him look foolish. And it was somewhat comical. And that was the thing that was just really disjointed for me, was we built him up as this ultimate villain last week, and now people were able to take him down. So here's my question to you guys. Please help me out, because I'm seeking answers as to why that could be. He does drop the line that Strange is the key to all of this. Like, he's even saying, why is this happening? Like, he's equally baffled that he's having such a hard time with these scrubs. And then he points to and identifies Strange is disrupting my power. Was that the answer? Like, is it that simple? I'm trying to understand as to why he goes from an all-powerful, omnipotent being one week in the series to being a guy who is like getting three stooges bashed in the head with shields and not knowing like what angle the vibranium shields are coming at him from. It just, there was like a dissonance in these weeks. Please help me understand I'm asking for help, even in the comments. Like,
I have a partial theory, but I'd love to get Rob's thoughts first.
The short answer to your question is yes. You're supposed to accept that Doctor Strange is that powerful. And that's why I don't think they showed it enough, and you have to accept it. But he did make reference to it at least twice about why can't you just die. It was because of the protection spell. You have to believe that. And then when he realizes Strange is the key to keeping them all protected. Because he even says at one point, I've destroyed universes, and why am I having a problem with you? So the short answer is yes, you have to accept that because they didn't dive deeper into it. That's what they did.
And the reason to accept that is because he wasn't educated whatsoever on Strange or anything that Strange had obtained, because it was in a universe that had collapsed prior to Ultron coming to that.
Oh, yeah, baby. Bryan's on fire tonight. Somebody had coffee today.
Markie Mark, you got any thoughts there? Because I'm with Mark Valentine. I'm going to toss something to you guys that I'm having a bit of an issue with in the next one as well.
I mean, it was challenging for me. Like, I almost feel like he was bored, and at first he entertained them being able to like fight with him just because he was bored of destroying things so easily. Because, I mean, we saw what he did to Thanos, like in 2 seconds, you know, so it did give me a little bit that they caught him so unbalanced, a little too easily unbalanced. But then again, Strange is just getting stranger. So, yeah.
So wait, before we get off topic, can I throw some more things about the fight that I liked?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I love the double shield action.
Mm-hmm.
The Guardian shield and the Captain America shield. That team up was amazing. I also liked there was one section where they just focused the camera on Ultron, and it was all the characters coming in and out of frame, hitting him. And then they did the same thing on the stone, where they just focused it on the stone and all the characters. That for a cartoon, that would have been a great movie shot. I just thought that was great. Did not want it to go unsaid. And then when Ultron freezes time, I just wrote the phrase "bomb ass move," because that was like the end of like Philhar Magic when Mickey gets the hat back. Just stopped everything, like boom. I thought that was it. So
that's a great way to put it. I love that. Mark Valentine, were we able to answer your question?
I mean, it's a cartoon and it's fiction, so you just got to go with it. I mean, you have to, you can't nitpick it. I mean, you have to suspend your disbelief to just understand that none of this stuff is real and it's fantastical. And I mean, like, I'm just going to have to accept it. I have gone off on tangents on this before, where I used like the Winter Soldier was the last time I used that as an example of he's so strong and so powerful, and then he was getting manhandled by like the Flag Smashers on top of the truck. The same guy that we saw in Captain America and the Winter Soldier was like catching shields, and he was so menacing that there's no continuity in powers or level of power. And I saw that again. It was just one more example of they display ultimate or sheer power one week, and then the next, it's almost like they get nerfed almost immediately after. But look, if it's Strange that's the key to that, and because he has some mystic ability to diminish Ultron's power because he has the Time Stone, because he has power from other dimensions, and he's consumed all these other powerful beings from other times and dimensions, I mean, I can live with it. It was just one of those things that it didn't sit great with me, and I had to think over it.
Let's not downplay it, though, because remember, Strange has a power that is getting close to a Watcher level in the sense that he's watching his own little pocket reality at the end of the thing. So Strange does have extreme power. I don't think they went into that enough, but maybe they did. I mean, he had a giant squid thing come out of him and grow to whatever. I mean, some stuff happened in this episode.
So, yeah, something was interesting that squid thing came out of his hand without him, like he's not able to fully contain it, and he hasn't reached that. And I thought that was interesting. Rob, you talked about something that before it goes unsaid. I loved that visual last week of the galaxy and Ultron taking a bite out of it. But the visual of this time when Thor gets his attention, because Thor's good at attracting unwanted attention, and then you get that shot of the mountain, and then Ultron's entire face show up in the back behind the mountain. I thought the visual of that was really, really cool. I really liked it. But we're going to stick with something that didn't perfectly, and we just got to take it for what it is. I'm fine that the Infinity Stones do not work in the TVA. I am fine that the TVA works in a manner that is without rules, without reason. If the Infinity Stone Crusher couldn't destroy the stones, and this is where I get worried about the multiverse, is we can simply change the rules at the drop of this is the multiverse. And the answer was, so one, there's this big giant explosion. Why, if it didn't work, why was there this big giant explosion from the Infinity Crusher? But I don't know. Like, the construct of the stones is different in my universe than another. I didn't love that. Am I alone on this one?
It's a stretch. They're asking you to accept a lot, which is why it was also interesting. They said it was canon for the MCU right away, because it didn't have to be. I'm still going to take it for what it is. The only argument I could think of offhand is maybe that was just the energy that the machine itself uses to destroy the stones. So that's the power it has. But, I don't know. It's a cheap way to explain it, but I do agree. I do agree with you.
It just, I don't know, that big explosion. I was like, well, then why would it explode if it didn't work? I don't get it. I kind of have to overlook it. I don't want to be pessimistic, negative Nancy on this, but I don't want this is what scares me about the multiverse is I don't want it's this way just because. And maybe I just need to get over it. Markie Mark, did you have any thoughts here?
I'm with you. When it exploded, I'm like, okay, well, we know that didn't destroy it. Okay, so why didn't the machine work? Oh, the stones are slightly different from each other and different. Okay. I think I'm still trying to understand how the stones work from Loki and now here. I'm still trying to understand it, but I'm with you that it kind of threw me off.
Yeah, Juice said it didn't work for him either.
And the Watcher knew.
Yeah.
The Watcher knew, and I want to talk about that. The Watcher was
that's another weird thing. Yeah, like so he saw this. It's weird where people's powers extend to, and then where the powers don't. But the universe is huge. I mean, it's.
Man, he didn't even say anything bad about Tony Stark, and we lost him too.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. Mark Valentine, did you have anything on the Infinity Crusher?
This was probably the same thing as you. You already said it. This was the second time that I just had to throw my hands up and say, hey, just go with it. I'm concerned that we're going to have these holes and these plot holes that are going to exist from one film to another. And I think we're just going to have to get used to some degree of retconning and Feige realizing, or the writers realizing in the overarching narrative, that whenever you have time travel and you have these kind of things, you're going to get that. It's just, nothing's going to be perfect because we're nerds. This is what we do. We pore over these things and we catch them in these kind of errors, and then we perseverate on them, and then we talk about them online and in blogs and in podcasts and in vlogs, and then we force them to either come back and revisit, or then the creators snap back at us, the community, and say, deal with it and accept it. This is what we live with in Star Wars, man. Like, you and I know this. And, this is where then you get the actors and the talent, like the Freddie Prinze Jr.'s of the world, snapping back on a radio show, like saying, like, grow up and accept it. Like, you're a 46-year-old man, like, screaming about a mystical religion. Get over it. We're going to either have to accept it or just kind of move on. I mean, there's going to be mistakes.
I expect, and maybe this is too much, I expect, especially after Eternals, it might be too much, but I expect the Prime multiverse, or I expect the Prime timeline to remain pretty true to itself. There's very few inconsistencies within 25 films and 4 series. What would be the worst retcon for you guys as far as not being able to buy it, just liking the material because of it? I
got a controversial one if you want to hear it.
Go ahead.
Bringing the original talent back to life and undoing the sacrifice. Although it would be, pleasing to see Tony Stark again, it would be nice to see Black Widow again. if they retcon it and they just bring them back like willy-nilly, it's going to undo all of the effectiveness of the Infinity Saga. Like, don't do that.
I don't know if retcon's the right word, but no, I see what you're saying. If we ever see Tony Stark again, I'll actually be kind of bummed because it minimalizes his sacrifice. I don't know if I have an answer to this
Bryan,
question.
The multiverse minimalizes everything. That's why it becomes so interesting. Just the pure essence of having a multiverse. You're saying this is the only one we care about. There's infinite possibilities. There's infinite Tony Starks. There's infinite heroes on other planets. Just the sheer essence of having the multiverse, it already happens. But you have to make it bigger. You have to make the stakes bigger, or else what do you have for a product? You can't do the same thing. You can't like Mighty Ducks 2 it, where we're in the Olympics, and then Mighty Ducks 3 we're playing the seniors in our high school. Like it makes it less of a thing.
That is a great comparison. I really, really enjoyed that. And I could tell Markie Mark did too. I don't know. Like, the multiverse is clearly not being introduced only so we can get Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire all in the same film. The multiverse is going to be insane. I trust Kevin Feige. I trust Marvel Studios, and I trust that we're going to be able to do it. But I think there's a reason this one was animated.
It is. It is the reason. They're trying to get you used to the crazy is what I truly think.
Yeah. I feel like they're moving closer to the source material, though, with this plot line. That they're getting closer and closer to the comic books than we ever have been before. And that wouldn't be a bad thing. But again, the thing with the comics are, and this is where it's smart for them, we've talked about this, they will never run out of Captain Americas. They will never run out of Iron Mans. They will never run out of different iterations, because then they're just going to move on from the talent and bring in a new one and shuffle them in from another universe. This makes a lot of sense for them for storyline and for writing, that if you have a multiverse moving forward and it's well established and it's well done, then you're just going to get different variants and different versions of these heroes. But I don't want to see, for fan service, they did this. They did it in an animated version, but they did it nonetheless. We get Natasha Romanoff coming back to essentially to a main timeline to kind of have a redemption. And it's like,
with that.
This universe has a Black Widow now. Like, I don't want to see that. I want there to be that loss. Like, don't diminish the sacrifice of the heroes by just bringing in a carbon copy from another universe.
It is part of the conversation, so I'm going to go to it now. Rob, you said you disagree with that statement.
I disagree. So first of all, that was not the sacred timeline, in my opinion.
No, it was not. It was the timeline from the third episode, the crazy killer Ant-Man episode.
Okay, so
wait, I thought no. She was put into the Oh, it was the Ant-Man one. You're right. Sorry, Bryan. I my bad for trying to question you. My bad. Go ahead.
I felt that this show had so many terrible things happen in it that I think that they just tried to give you a couple of happy or possible happy endings for characters. So I didn't mind that as much, because he wasn't going to put her back to her time where she's the only human on Earth. Like that's worse than, that's like going to a hell or a purgatory or whatever else.
So I Am Legend.
Yes.
Aww.
So I think exactly what they did. I think they even made her influence there a much bigger deal with the fight. I like how much of a big deal they made it to give her that moment. They made it very grand. But I think it's nice. I think it's a nice way to wrap up her story in this series.
Markie Mark, did you think they were putting Natasha back into the sacred timeline originally before we found out Captain Marvel was there and it was the third episode Black Widow?
I didn't, like, thinking about it now, I didn't really have any issue with it. I still don't have too much issue with it if they would have tried to do it in our timeline, but I didn't really think too much of this, putting it back in the timeline, honestly.
Yeah, if they had put her back into our sacred timeline, I think I'd be kind of losing my mind, but I think it was kind of fun to put it.
I think that would have been too dark for the watcher to be like, hey, thanks for all your hard work. I'm going to put you back there. You'll have a lot of time to do a lot of reading. I think that would have been too dark. So
Patrick says, how do you feel about 2014 Gamora being brought back at the end of Endgame? Kind of the same thing.
Patrick, it's cheap. It's cheap.
I don't think the Gamora thing is cheap, personally. I actually really like the Gamora thing. And so I guess I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth there.
To me, it cheapens Gamora. It's not the same Gamora that Quill falls in love with. It's a different person.
That
No,
it cheap.
no.
Not exactly. It's the same person.
He doesn't know him at all. They've never met. They've never fell in love. They didn't.
No, but
see
they got pulled from the same timeline, so it is the same.
It's
This-
different. Your choices make you different. That's not the same Gamora.
It's
Because
not.
she has
They're going to be, yeah, you get it. You're different ages. You have different experiences. You're in different places in life.
Yeah. This is old
rough.
man wisdom.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. It is. It's a rough thing to accept because I didn't like her death in the first place. I hate that she had to die like that. It made so much sense for the story, But I don't know. It depends on what they do with it. I guess they gotta have some license.
The only thing that's different is this Black Widow went to a different dimension. Our Gamora was in our dimension, and they just plucked her from a point in time where she was alive and put her into this time after she died. But Black Widow and What If just went to a different dimension. So for me, it's different. I wouldn't put them in the same category.
I don't put him in the same category at all, personally. Juice agrees with Mark Valentine. I like the Gamora thing. I think it's interesting. And Mark is gone again. We'll get back to it. We go from the explosion of the Infinity Crusher, which didn't make a ton of sense, to a shot that was really, really cool of BFFs Nat and Peggy going together. Nat gives a heck of a shot to the eye of Ultron while Peggy rips the helmet off of his head. Again, Mark, to your point, why isn't Ultron as aware as he was in the last episode? I don't care. It was a heck of a shot from Black Widow. So then we get to see some of the cool visuals of Zola arguing with Ultron, and we get to what I have coined the rise of Zoltron.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't think Zoltron's caught on with anybody, so I'm going to keep running with it. But Rob, what did you make?
Did you just ship them? Is that like you officially shipping the two of them?
Ultron and Zola?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's Zoltron, man.
That's cute, man. I like that.
It works.
Rob, what did you make of this argument, the visuals of Zola arguing with Ultron? I thought it was really, really cool.
It was very cool. I really enjoyed I enjoyed the use of Arnim Zola in this series. I really enjoyed that. I like the Independence Day line when Nat threw out, gave it a virus, a nasty one. I appreciated that. I love the argument.
She was full of pop culture references, Peter Parker level stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that they really threw the one-liners, and I think to try to balance out like so many deaths and terrible things happened in this series. They really did. So, but yeah, I love the argument. Very Tron style. I felt like we were inside the mainframe. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Mark Valentine?
I'll never pass up a good Tron reference. So, how do I top that? Sorry, I just feel like we need to talk about the real life Sark there.
That conversation put the Tron in Zoltron.
Yeah, it really did.
Nice.
No, it was fun. Nice. I mean, I like this. I got almost immediately when he started to take over Ultron, I instinctively knew. I'm like, this is not
good.
Good. Yeah, this isn't good. Like, perhaps we've taken down one villain, but we've just replaced him with another. I had bad vibes immediately. And, like Jax was saying before, I was giving Killmonger the side eye the entire episode too. So I was like, we're not done here. Like, this isn't over.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, you see Killmonger, like, he's completely gone throughout, like, the entire battle until he holds on to one of the chains that kind of hides or pulls Ultron down. And then Markie Mark, Killmonger goes Killmonger, and his entire purpose of being on the team is revealed at this point. The Watcher was very much Stephen Strange in Avengers Endgame, where there's the one way, and he kind of fixed two birds, or he fixed two universes with the existence of bringing Killmonger onto this team. Markie Mark, what did you make of just all this Killmonger stuff?
Can I just make one comment about the Ultron thing, though? I loved the shot of them inside the head, them kind of talking to each other. It reminded me of Age of Ultron. I don't know why, but I found this more fascinating. The two heads talking to each other and then consuming it. I thought that was brilliant. I actually got like a Matrix vibe from that.
Mhm.
So,
Especially when Zola's head shows up in the body.
There's like fan made Funkos of that. It kind of reminded me of what was it, King or whatever from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The one with the body in the
in the robot body.
Yeah, I kind of thought of that. But anyways,
it's a King variant.
There we go. We just started a big crossover.
I always put Kang and Zola in the same category as like kind of what they are, even though it's not exactly the same.
You guys are too young. You may not remember. Rob will remember Max Headroom. I had the Max Headroom vibes from him.
It is going to be a Target exclusive Funko, by the way, Markie Mark.
Is it?
It's a Funko. It is a Target exclusive.
I don't need it. I need the Peggy Carter style suit. That's what I need. You know what? Anyways, we're not going to go down my Funko rant again. Killmonger.
Did you figure out Killmonger's purpose ahead of it being revealed?
So when they plucked him out, I was like, okay, we just removed him from this toxic situation that it wasn't going to be good. It was interesting to see that Killmonger has become like Lex Luthor level. Sorry to do a crossover, but I will. Just how brilliant and smart he is and how much of a hard to beat villain he is. I loved that storyline. But when you plucked him out, I was like, okay, we're done with him here. That's a good way. He's not going to plop him back. Although I would love to see Shuri and Pepper Potts. Pepper Potts was ready to fight. I wanted to see more of that. Killmonger, though, when he got plopped in there, I think it was when he was looking at the Ultron head that I was like, he's going to do something. We're going to have to take care of him. There's definitely no way he's going back. I didn't figure out that we were just going to trap him kind of like in a Doctor Strange Mirrorverse thing. I didn't think of that, but I knew when he looked at the helmet, there's no redemption. He's got to go somehow.
Rob, to keep with the endgame comparisons of the Watcher being Doctor Strange, knowing the one way, then Doctor Strange was the Tony Stark when he comes to the realization that, oh, this is the one way. He says, we were never meant to win. We were here to separate the stones from the body. What did you make of just the visuals around here and just how they wrapped up this entire story?
The visuals were great. It does make me wonder why they felt the need to do kind of a mini Infinity Saga, Minity Saga. I like that. But I don't know why they felt the need to do that again and give us so much stuff about the stones. But the visuals were great. The way they wrapped up the story was great. I don't know. I think we're going to see something else from that pocket dimension or something in the future.
Why didn't they give us the stones? Why did they give us the stones? It's because everybody's obsessed with the stones. Didn't you watch WandaVision? All the commercials.
You're right. You think we would move on from the stones, especially even in Loki, the way they made the stones like, oh, they're nothing. The stones are, they don't work here. It's funny that they brought back a whole series. I wonder, even Strange using his version of the Time Stone against Ultron's version of the Time Stone. It's like, the power gets immense. It's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, so they take down the entire, like you said, Rod, they make a pocket dimension. They trap Zoltron and Killmonger in this mirror dimension, and then they leave the Strange in charge of watching this one. Let's bring this backstage conversation on air. Mark Valentine, what are you confused about that I'm confusing myself on?
So we had this. I'm just saying that we had this up. Galactus, Ultron, President Steve, Mustafar. That was last week. That was
last week.
What I'm seeing on my screen is it says we were never meant to win. We are here to separate the stone from
Oh, we're getting a different graphic.
What you're telling me is what's going on live on air was Mustafar and everything else. I don't know how that's possible because everything I see says we were meant to win.
Well, it's from a
Put
different
the title
reality.
back up, Brian. Put the
I
title
believe
back up.
you. I believe you, but this is why we were confused. I edited the same time card, but to me it reads we were meant to win. We were not here. I believe you.
Yeah. So in another timeline,
this is odd.
Yeah.
Look at Rob right there. Look at that.
This is odd. I'm going to take
Rob
shot of what I had. Anyway, that's why. Yeah. So that was last week. We went to Mustafar. We went to President Steve Rogers. But anyway,
it's a variant. It exists in another timeline. That card exists in another timeline.
It's like the Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
It is not what it said to me. So anyway, we talked about pocket dimensions. We got really nerdy, but let's wrap it up with something happy. Mark Valentine, Peggy Carter just might get the happy ending she deserves because Uatu kind of made her go back because he knew what was waiting for her.
I am hopeful that we get a live action version of Captain Carter. I really liked her. My one takeaway from this series was I love her as a character. I think that is so there's two Captain America projects now that I want to see. I want to see Steve Rogers in time. I want to see his quest to return the Infinity Stones. I think that would be a really nice standalone series, just a one-off. Just give me like 6 episodes of that, and I'm happy. I want to see what happens off screen, and I want a continuing Captain Carter live action Disney Plus series, please, and thank you.
It's a lot.
Mark liked that so much that he left the Zoom. Rob, what did you make of Peggy maybe getting Steve back? I guess he was cryogenically frozen like the Winter Soldier.
Well, that's so Mark, first of all, I think if you're going to get a Steve Rogers series, it's going to be like 20 years down the line, like a Kenobi series where he's returning the stones. That's what I think.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Chris Evans will fall on hard times. He won't be getting the projects thrown at him the way he used to.
I don't even think it'll be him. It'll be a new actor playing him.
He at least has to do the trilogy of the Lightyear films.
But that being said, I have one small issue with if it's supposed to be Steve Rogers in that suit. The reason Steve Rogers was able to be frozen and sustainable for 70 years was because he had taken the serum that he did not take. So I don't know if they're going to do the suit has some special thing, and that was why he was able to be frozen. But there's a big question there how Steve's frail body will be still okay 70 years later in the Ironmonger suit. That being said, I hope Peggy gets her happy ending, even if it's with Zombie Steve.
Markie Mark.
I got chills. They were multiplying, and I was losing control by the power that Kevin Feige was supplying. It was electrifying. When I saw,
you better wake up
because I need a Rogers, and so when you see the suit in the container, I was happy, but then I don't know why it kind of threw me off. What did Black Widow say? He's inside or something like that.
There's someone inside.
There's someone in. I don't know why, but that was like a good horror movie line. You might like this. And there's someone inside. You know, like it kind of brought me out of the moment for a second, but I'm with Mark. I would love a live action Captain Carter series. It's still my favorite episode, the first one.
Holy crap. Go ahead. We've got one more thing to talk about before the night's over that I just remembered.
Okay, last thing. And then if they want to do a series, I'm all for it. The more Captain Carter, I'm there.
Bryan, is it breaking news?
Go ahead. We are getting an Agatha Harkness Disney Plus series.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Even talk about it. There's been so much stuff going on. We are getting an Agatha Harkness Disney Plus series, and I am stoked. What is that?
I forgot about that, man. Wow.
What is this, Markie Mark?
Do we need it?
Whoa.
It's a continuation of the best Disney Plus series we have gotten so far, and wrapping up our overall series thoughts. 4 Disney Plus series so far: WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and What If. Rob, where does What If come in that for you?
Ooh, where does What If come in for me? I'm gonna put What If after Loki, WandaVision, probably What If for me, then Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Markie Mark.
We're doing it like based on favorites or what?
Yes.
Yeah, favorites. Your favorites.
We'll admit that the best overall series is WandaVision, and we're getting a continuation.
WandaVision is the best written series. For me personally, I'm going to... Falcon Winter Soldier is my favorite. Then What If, then WandaVision, then Loki.
Wow. I'm surprised Loki fell last for you.
Wow. I haven't gone back and watched it all. WandaVision, I've at least gone back and enjoyed it more. I will say WandaVision's growing on me a lot.
Where did What If come in? Second?
Yeah. You know what? No. Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision, What If. I'm going to do WandaVision second, What If third.
Hot take, gentlemen. Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, What If for me.
Wow.
WandaVision,
Wow.
Loki just below it. Falcon and Winter Soldier quite a bit further down, and then What If pulling.
Am I really the only one who's not big on Loki?
I loved Loki, man. I loved it so much.
I like that none of us had the same list.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So there's nothing else that I want to see from WandaVision at this point that I'm not going to get in a movie, which is why it's a limited series. Loki is going to bring us such great stuff in season 2. I am so psyched.
Well, and part of the allure of WandaVision was the fact that you didn't know what it was. They really drugged you in, which was a great thing. But now that I'm there, there's plenty of places to take it, but the other things have can be more consistent.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. I'm like Bryan.
And we were also starved for Marvel content when WandaVision came out.
No, but WandaVision was great. WandaVision's really great. I mean, Loki and WandaVision are close for me, and I could argue either one. But the way that Loki expanded the universe for me, and really just Tom Hiddleston was masterful in that series. And it was there were so many moments that my mouth just hit the floor in Loki, that there were like one or two moments that WandaVision just really wowed me. But Loki continuously, I was like, this is incredible. The way they expanded everything with that series. And my wife is probably the arbiter of these kind of things, but she's not into the MCU. She could not get enough Loki. She's like begging for season 2 of Loki to come back.
I am getting a mild version of season 2 of WandaVision and Catherine Hahn. There is no such thing as too much Catherine Hahn. I cannot wait for the Agatha Harkness series.
She bit a kid once. We're going to see it.
That's interesting. All right. Well, we have run overtime. There will not be any Family Feud, but chances are the answers were Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Spider-Man, and Thor.
Come on. Do you have a card? Come on.
I can get a card. Do you want me to get a card?
What's another 35 seconds?
Name the member of the Avengers that would be the best preschool teacher. Rob.
Tony Stark.
Number 7. 8 answers on the board. I don't want him teaching my kids. Mark Valentine.
Captain America. He's doing the PSAs.
Number 3. Markie Mark.
Bruce Banner.
Number 1. Rob. I don't know. He's a scientist.
I'm going to go with the guy who wears this, Mr. Peter Parker.
Number 8. A little too young. He'd be a teacher's assistant. Mark Valentine.
He's a Doogie Howser, man. He's a Doogie Howser.
I would say Thor, because I think he'd be a good phys ed teacher.
Thor is not on the list. Markie Mark.
T'Challa.
Also not on the list.
Wow.
Rob.
Ant-Man.
No.
Number 2,
Wow.
Black Widow. Number 4, Hawkeye. Number 5, Captain Marvel. Number 6, Vision.
Wow. I would have never have gotten Vision.
Vision would be good.
Yeah.
What is going on in this Life land?
So we have a really fun week. We are in the podcast this week, sitting down with Jeff Marshall and talking Disneyland. He just got back from Disneyland, so we did a trip report. And then on Sunday, we are hanging out with Mousepiration Michael over on his YouTube channel for the Not So Late Show, which Piano Rob just was in last week as the musical guest. So he's asked us to join him on his brand new talk show. So we're excited to team up.
Nice. That's one part of Piano Land. What else is going on in Piano Land?
I'm at the Boathouse all weekend, Friday and Saturday night, and Sunday for brunch. Those are my shows. And I'm actually I'm going to the Universal theme park and staying overnight there Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll have some horrific times.
And Markie Mark, United We Fan World.
We just did a wonderful episode on the world of James Bond.
Minus Roger Moore.
Tell that
I was
to
going to
Roger
say
Moore.
shout out to Roger Moore. We will avenge you. So
We did a whole episode about James Bond films, and the name Roger Moore never came out of either one of our mouths.
And then let's see, coming up, you never know. There might be some ghosts that we need to go busting on. And then, Ted Lasso just finished season 2. We got to talk about that, we believe.
Gentlemen, a good mentor hopes you will move on. A great mentor knows you will. For all time.
Always.